Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Before we continue, I am going to make my disclaimer like I always do. I am not a lawyer. I am not certified to practice law here in Vietnam. I'm just simply a foreigner that knows about the labor code. Now, today we're going to go ahead and begin by actually combining two into one because both of them are very, very important. And when you see it, you will understand why. So, last time we talked about Article 152, Clause 1. So, this time we're going to go all the way back up to the beginning and go back up to Article 8, Clause 1, which is right over here. And of course, we're going to go ahead and scroll up here the same way. Give it a couple of seconds. All right, 49, 43, 35, 25, and Article 8. Sweet. All right, cool. So as you can see here, we have here the forbidden actions. Look at the very first one right over here. Article 8, Clause 1, labor discrimination. Also here in Vietnamese too, same thing. Labor discrimination. It is forbidden under the labor code. You see? It's forbidden. Now, since the labor code has specifically forbidden labor discrimination, and yes, we're going to talk about other stuff here later on. But labor discrimination, as you can see, it's in both. So we're going to go to Article 3, Clause 8, because a lot of you are asking, what is labor discrimination under Vietnamese law? Well, that's a very good question, and I'll show you. So we're going to go all the way up here to Article 3, Clause 8. Now, Article 3 are definitions, as you can see right up here. Article 3, definitions. Scroll up here on the Vietnamese side till we got the same thing. And you have Article 3 right here, same thing, okay? Article 3, definitions. For the purposes of this document, the terms below shall be construed as follows. That's what that says in Vietnamese. And then number 8, labor discrimination, right here. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you all about labor discrimination here in Vietnam. All right, here we go. Now, that's what it is in Vietnamese. So English version right here. Labor discrimination means discrimination on the grounds of race, skin color, nationality, ethnicity, gender, age, pregnancy, marital status, religion, opinion, disability, family responsibility, HIV infection, establishment of or participation in trade union or internal employee organization in a manner that affects the equality or opportunity of employment. Yeah. Positive discrimination on the grounds of professional requirements, the sustainment and employment protection for vulnerable employees will not be considered discrimination. Now, here they talk about vulnerable employees. That means employees under the age of 18, women, and elderly employees. Those are the three protected groups besides disabled employees. That's group number 4. So there's 4 groups there that are protected under this labor code. Now, we have seen that labor discrimination is illegal here in Vietnam, and yet it is still rampant. Why? Because of the fact in the eyes of many locals, white skin equals native speaker, white skin equals high quality. I've been around a lot of teachers that have white skin that can't speak English at all. They're either from South Africa, Russia, or Ukraine and can't speak English. I can't understand them. I speak American English from the Midwest, and everybody can understand me. And I actually have 4 accents that work at once. I have Kansas accent, because that's where I was born, Northern accent, Southern accent, and Texas accent, all working at once. That's the reason why my English is more rounded than someone from, say, Boston, someone from New York City, the Bronx, someone from California, someone from Dallas, Texas. Those are very, very, very specific accents. They're very specific accents. That's the reason why my language is more rounded off. Anywho, moving on. So, we've already proved about labor discrimination and why it's illegal here in Vietnam. And the reason why they do it is, like I said, it's white skin. Now, me personally, as I've said before, I do not believe in racism at all in any way, shape, or form. And I think that the racism here in Vietnam needs to go away so that any teacher, regardless of their skin color, regardless if they are male or female, regardless if they are just barely at the age to teach English or if they're in their 60s, It should not matter. The only thing that should matter is a person's ability to do the job. That's it. It's like I said in my previous examples. If you have a native English-speaking teacher and a non-native English-speaking teacher, again, we're not talking about skin color. We're not talking about where they're from. We're not talking about any of that. The only thing we're talking about is that we have two separate people. One's a native speaker, one's a non-native speaker, and both of them have the exact same qualifications, exact same experiences, exact same everything. If both of them were to come get a job with me, both of them would be paid the exact same. That's not true in other English centers. The other English centers may pay the native speaker $2,000 USD a month, yet for the same exact position, they will only pay the non-native speaker about $1,200 a month, if that. That's garbage. There shouldn't be that much of a disparity between native and non-native speakers. Because even though native speakers can speak the language, that's true. But you also have to know about the language, and that's something that the non-native speakers have. The native speakers, unless they actually have a degree in the English language, a lot of native English-speaking teachers don't know how to teach English. Unless they actually have a degree in the English language, they will not know how to teach English properly. Because a CELTA certificate is worthless if you don't have at least a bachelor's or a master's in the English language. It's worthless. TESOL, CELTA, Delta, all that, they're worthless if you don't have a bachelor's, master's, or higher in the English language. And a lot of non-native speakers, they actually worked really, really hard to get where they're at. Again, I cite earlier, my African-American friend with 19 years of experience in English Center here in Ho Chi Minh City refused to hire him simply because he is black. Not because of his many years of experience, not because he's great with kids. Nope, only because he's black. And it angered me to no end because of the fact that I see a man with all this experience, all this passion, and they don't want to give him a job because he's black. Reason why I wanted to talk to you all about this today is to go ahead and let you know that racism is wrong. It's wrong a long time ago, it's wrong today, and it's wrong in the future. The way I see it is simple. The only way we can stop racism is simply to go ahead and show people what a true English center is supposed to be, what it's supposed to act like. I want you all to go ahead and look at my video. I think it's number 5, The Perfect English Center. If you want to know what I would do to show the people of Vietnam how a center is supposed to run. In my center, like I said, it would have a very diverse group of people. Like I said, from those just barely old enough to teach English, like 23, I think it is, all the way to people who are 60 plus. Men, women, all skin tones, nationalities, ethnicities, creeds, all of that. And it would be a 100% English-speaking environment. I would be the exact opposite of what all the other English centers do. That's the reason why everybody will want to come work for me. Now, the second part here says positive discrimination. Okay, we're going to get to that too. Positive discrimination means that they require a bachelor's degree. Now, the law used to say that you must have a bachelor's degree, but they've actually changed that to where now they will take college trade certificates and other forms of education that prove that you have beyond a high school education to be able to teach English here in Vietnam. Some people say it's going away entirely, but I don't think so. But anywho, even though the work permit no longer requires it, employers can still require a bachelor's degree. That is positive discrimination and it's totally fine. But if they go ahead and say, we want female only, no, that's illegal under gender. We want someone who's 24 years old only. No, that's age discrimination. We want someone who is native speaker or European. No, because that's discrimination based on race, skin color, and nationality. That's the reason why whenever you see me on Facebook, I go ahead and put down in quotation marks, we're looking for cheap white teachers because that's what they're advertising for. If they're advertising for NES or European only, that means they only want white teachers. That's it. Now, moving on. So, we go ahead and have all this that we're looking at, and, there's that. And then also for people who are married, family responsibility and marital status both apply. So if you're married, they can't discriminate. If someone unfortunately has HIV, again, employer cannot discriminate. And if you establish or participate in a trade union, again, they can't discriminate. almost every single English center here in Vietnam is guilty of discrimination. And I can say that with a straight face because of the fact that if you look at their workforce, over 90% will be female. For their teachers, they will mostly have teachers from Russia or Europe. They won't have any actual native English speakers there because they don't want to pay what native teachers are worth. That's why. They want to hire the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst, and then the parents wonder why their kids aren't learning English. That's the reason why places like APACs need to go. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this video by showing you guys and gals that yes, it is illegal to discriminate, and I have showed you why. Now, the other parts that I'm going to talk about later on, I'm going to come back to these and go through them in more detail. But I wanted to talk about this specifically because labor discrimination is a big problem in the English teaching sphere. It's wrong, and it needs to stop. And if you're an evil English center here in Vietnam and you're listening to this and you're looking at this on your screen, I want you to know that even though I'm not an English teacher anymore, I am trying to train those that are so that they will find you and they will shut you down. How they will shut you down? It's simple. They refuse to teach for you. Eventually, when you have enough teachers that refuse to teach for you, you have no teachers, you will have to shut down. Teachers are getting fed up with being mistreated. Think about it. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody that if you like what you saw, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that so I can go ahead and get those advertising dollars. Also, if you want to, tip me, donate some cash or goods, go ahead and let me know on Google Chat or in the Zalo chat room. My Gmail is tuxedoshadow@gmail.com, and the Zalo chat group is listed. So have a good night, be safe, and see you soon.